You'll be thankful for ESPN in November. Every week, see the NFL's best in live Sunday night showdown and a Saturday stampede of the nation's finest college teams. College basketball tips off with 3 preseason tournaments, while championships are at stake in the final auto racing events of the year. Plus great golf at the Nabisco Championship and Isuzu Kapalua International. It's all live in November on ESPN.
The Clydesdales, the symbol of Budweiser quality, of Beechwood aging, the choicest natural ingredients, and a genuine commitment to freshness and taste. One beer lives up to all this. Budweiser.
Time and time again, the world's great pictures are trusted to one film, Kodak. Why trust your memories to anything less?
For every man who wears Brut, there's a woman who loves what he smells like, because there's something about Brut that's nice to be close to. And nobody knows that better than a woman.
Hello? Honey! I was just thinking about you.
Brut, it smells like a man. This holiday season, give him the gift you'll love being close to. The great smell of Brut.
She's got legs, she knows how to move them. She energy legs, she knows how to use them. They're gonna move you, oh yeah, they're gonna soothe you. She's energy, she's got legs.
I knew he was gonna be here. This is gonna be one great party. You know why Spud McKenzie has so much fun at parties? Because he's always in control. He knows how to make the party last. It takes good sense to have a good time. Spuds knows it's cool to live by one simple rule. Know when to say when.
A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
What news of the Earthlings?
Totally high-tech, sir.
Indeed? How?
Check out these Casio watches. That new Casio pulse watch checks your pulse rate.
Not bad for a Zog my age.
Casio's new databank watch remembers up to 50 phone numbers, dates, hey, whatever.
Amazing.
Yeah, they've got more new watches than you can shake a floor at.
Splendid. I can always use another Casio.
They do a lot more than just tell time.
Casio, watches that do more than keep time. They keep you ahead of your time.
So what's little dandruff?
Okay, imagine you're at the social event of the year, and your dream girl says hello, just as you do this. Her first impression? What a hunk, and only a few flakes.
Give me a break.
The breaks are, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
So?
So regular shampoos won't fix your problem. Try this.
Head and Shoulders? But you don't have dandruff.
Bingo.
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Nature's light, bathing fields of grain, enriching full, fresh hops, giving life to sparkling streams, nourishing all the natural things that go into making Bud Light. The light beer that's beechwood aged for a clean, fresh taste that makes Bud Light the one light that outshines them all.
A stormy rivalry postponed by Hurricane Gilbert. Now the Sun Bowl-bound Alabama Crimson Tide rises against Texas A&M. Live Thursday night at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Coverage presents Speed World. Today, live from Phoenix International Raceway, the Checker 500 Winston Cup race being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. By Xerex, the antifreeze coolant for extreme conditions. And by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. From the Valley of the Sunshine, we're actually located about 25 miles to the southwest of downtown Phoenix, Arizona in Tolleson. This is Phoenix International Raceway, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins. It's the first time ever that the Winston Cup Series has visited this location, and we could decide the Winston Cup Championship here today with a good effort from Bill Elliott. As we take a look at the point standings, you can see that 3 are eligible for the Winston Cup still, with Elliott a 79-point lead over Rusty Wallace. Still with a mathematical chance is Dale Earnhardt, but he's 198 points behind Elliott. But Rusty Wallace has certainly turned in some outstanding performances just in the last few races, Ned.
He certainly has. He has done exactly what he had to do, and that is to win. The last 3 races, he has won them, coming from 2 laps down in each case. But he only gained 45 points on Bill Elliott because Elliott was finishing in the top 5 in each of those races.
Well, Ned, through the annals of history, when you list some of the great stretch runners, you conjure up names like Man o' War, Secretariat, and most recently, Ali Sheba. Now, the recent accomplishments of this man, Rusty Wallace, would easily qualify him for one of the best down-on-the-stretch, down-to-the-wire competitors in NASCAR history. And, Rusty, everyone expects you to be so tense and so uptight, but you've been the picture of poise, so relaxed all week.
I tell you what, when you got to drive a car as hard as I've been having to drive it the last 3 or 4 weeks, you can't get too excited because you're already excited in the car.
There's more than a championship at stake. There's a lot of optimism on the inside at the front of the pack that a win can come the way of one of these drivers. Jim Sauter starting in 5th position. This is the best starting position of his entire career. Sauter yesterday was extremely fast in practice. Beginning the race in front of him will be Harry Gant. The book on Harry Gant reads like a lot of tall odds. In 1985, this man was nearly the Winston Cup champion. He won 3 times. He almost had everything going his way, and then it began to fall apart. In 1986, he had 9. Gant desperately wants to win for car owner Hal Needham, who folds his team's tent at the end of the year. Also bringing his best piece to this event is Jeff Bodine. He won Pocono with this car. He almost won Wilkesboro and Martinsville with it. In over 1/3 of his starts, he has finished in the top 5. He intends to win.
In auto racing, the big Q stands for quality. In Quaker State's 11,000 RPM Porsche-powered Indy car. In Ricky Rudd's 625 horsepower high-torque V8. These great racing engines demand the great name in motor oil. Quaker State with QSX, proven to run clean for unbeatable protection from wear and tear.
And the Quaker State that protects all these engines on the track is the same oil you buy right off the shelf.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Xerox presents The Great American Torture Test, Alaska. Death Valley. City traffic. Coast to coast, to prove under the most extreme conditions, you can't buy a better antifreeze coolant than Xerox. No matter where you drive.
A tradition of horsepower. For the 2nd consecutive year, Budweiser racing teams captured 3 national championships. Bobby Rahal in the Bud Indy car. Kenny Bernstein in the Budweiser King. And Jim Cropfeld in Miss Budweiser. It's a tradition of horsepower that keeps Budweiser ahead of the pack. Racing fans,
the next stop on ESPN's World Tour 88, sponsored by Thrifty Car Rental, is Hawaii for the NFL Pro Bowl. If you're a winner, we'll take you and a guest to Honolulu for an all-expense-paid week of sun and fun, including tickets to the Pro Bowl. For details on how to enter, call 1-800-525-ESPN. That's 1-800-525-ESPN. Remember, whenever you travel, Thrifty Car Rental has over 650 locations to serve you worldwide.
Back at Phoenix International Raceway, ESPN Speed World, and here now is the starting lineup for today's Checker 500, the first time ever for the Winston Cup cars here at Phoenix. Pole sitter is Jeff Bodine at 123.203 miles an hour, his 3rd pole position of the year. Outside of row number 1, it's Rusty Wallace in the Kodiak Pontiac car number 27. The 2nd row is Harry Gant in car number 33 and Ricky Rudd in number 26. Row number 3, the number 89 car driven by Jim Sauter, and then Bill Elliott in number 9. The 4th row, Mark Martin in car number 6, along with Neil Bonnet in 75. In row number 5, it is Sterling Marlin in car number 44 and Rick Wilson in number 4. Then Michael Waltrip and Lake Speed in the 6th row. And as we take a look at the rest of the starting lineup, you will notice that interspersed through the starting lineup are a few of those that compete regularly in the Winston West Series. They have also joined their Winston Cup counterparts in this event this afternoon.
And Bob, this is a very unique racetrack. There are 2 other 1-mile tracks on the Winston Cup circuit. Both are very high-banked racetracks. These turns are relatively flat, and the dog leg on the back. It's a D-shaped racetrack, and certainly one that'll give them plenty of challenge here this afternoon.
There are a total of 43 starters in this race, with Bill Schmidt in car number 03 bringing up the tail. As you can see, the cars are now going down the front stretch on their last warm-up lap. Next time around, we'll be getting the green flag and the start of the Checker 500. The Phoenix International Raceway is a 1-mile oval. The pole time was 29.220 seconds at a speed of 123.203. We'll go 312 laps, and we should have about 90 to 95 laps before the cars will have to come in for a fuel stop. It is a 500-kilometer race, not a 500-mile race, so 312 laps. And our in-car camera will be carried by Dale Jarrett, the Hardee's race cam. Cars now are down the backstretch. This is not a true oval. There is instead a dog leg in the middle of the backstretch, creating sort of a D-shaped oval. They are now through turn number 3 as the pace car is leading the field at this time, but we're just about to go green and start this Checker 500. Look at the hill over there just outside of turn number 4. There usually are a few hundred people on that hill watching a race. Today there are thousands there, and the grandstands are packed. We are set to go for an afternoon of exciting racing in Phoenix, Arizona. Here comes Jeff Bodine and the others down for a start. Rusty Wallace on the outside of the front row. The green flag waves, and here we go.
Well, Rusty Wallace would certainly like to lead this first lap if at all possible. That would give him 5 bonus points in Winston Cup competition, but Jeff Bodine has taken the lead now.
Right now, going out of turn number 2, it is Jeff Bodine that leads Rusty Wallace and Ricky Rudd through the dogleg. Now they go high on the racetrack and dive into turn number 3. Now Wallace begins to move in on Jeff Bodine. Would like very much to lead lap number 1. He'll try to go inside of Bodine. Coming up 4. Bodine a little bit sideways. Side-by-side action here. It's going to be Bodine leading. Ricky Rudd goes to the inside of Rusty Wallace and tries to capture second position, but cannot do it. And Ned, in the opening lap, we've seen some bumping and banging going on out there.
It looked like almost a repeat of North Wilkesboro a few weeks ago as they got together. They're banging around, and I expect we'll see a good bit of that here this afternoon.
Well, as you indicated, Rusty wants to lead, so to make sure that he gets those 5 extra points, he needs all that he can in order to win that Winston Cup. He is second in points going into this race.
What you doing? Me and Daddy are putting new brake shoes on his car. But cars don't wear shoes.
Brake shoes, honey. They stop the car.
We always use Guardian brake shoes, don't we, Dad?
Nothing better. I learned about Guardian from my dad.
Nobody makes brakes better than Guardian, and nobody makes it easier.
Can I have new Guardian shoes, too?
Safe stop start with Guardian brakes.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality.
We engineer quality into every drop of Quaker State motor oil.
Only Quaker State has QSX, an advanced formula proven to run clean for unbeatable protection from wear and tear.
Before our oil's good enough for your car, we prove that it works in our car.
Quaker State quality. We don't just talk about it, we live by it.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Okay, listen up. Oakley Hill's filling in for ball tonight. Good luck, kid.
For 3 years, Bill Oakley took orders.
Hey, tonight we need to fit up the shell plate, weld it out. Okay,
But tonight,
all the help we can get. Are you with me?
he's got to stand up and take charge.
You got to reach inside. You got to turn the tide. You are the power, the man of the hour. You got them on your side. You make America work.
Here's to you, Beechwood Aged, for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all the guys who know it's not what you say, but what you do.
This Bud's for you.
You know what a flat old tater chip is, huh? It's like fishing where there ain't no fish. Ooh, but nothing flat about Ruffles potato chips. Ruffles got ridges. That's right. And they taste just as good as having them fish come jumping right in the boat, looking right on your eye and saying, Justin, me, I surrender. I guarantee.
Ruffles brand potato chips. The taste won't leave you flat.
Ooh, I caught the whole bunch. Hey.
They'll fight like cats and dogs in this SEC clash. The highly ranked LSU Tigers battle last year's conference champions, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Sunday night, live on ESPN.
We welcome you. Those of you who have been watching tennis, we are at Phoenix International Raceway. The Checker 500 Winston Cup race from Phoenix International Raceway. We are here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Phoenix International Raceway hosting the Winston Cup Series for the first time ever. And we'll be back with more of our coverage in just a moment as we go back now to tennis.
Every Ferrari 328 and every Ferrari Testarossa that comes to America comes on Goodyear Eagles. And only on Goodyear Eagles. Why? Because Mr. Ferrari wants it that way. Goodyear Eagles, Ferrari's choice as America's best tires.
This is a car. This is a Big A Pro Auto Repair Shop that uses quality Big A parts to service your car. This is a Big A Auto Parts store where you can buy said parts to work on your car yourself. This is the Big A Road to Savings, during which you can get great deals at this and this for this. And this is one of my vacation slides of my twin brother.
Look for the Big A Road to Savings going on now.
Racing on the water, just you and me. Running wild, running free. Run, 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 Kawasaki.
Jet Ski Watercraft by Kawasaki. The ultimate water pistol.
Fly across the water on a jumping jet. Kawasaki gets the good times wet. Fun, 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 Kawasaki.
See your local Kawasaki dealer today.
Kawasaki.
Presenting a superbly engineered high-performance machine. One designed to outperform anything the competition has ever introduced. With exceptional starting power, smooth acceleration, and outstanding fuel efficiency. What do we call this masterpiece of engineering? Bosch Platinum. The ultimate spark plug with the advantages of pure platinum. You've never driven anything like it.
Available at Kmart and other fine auto parts stores.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. The engine in the new Quaker State Porsche IndyCar develops 750 horsepower, so it takes an oil this good to protect it. At 11,000 RPM, engine temperatures soar to 800 degrees. Quaker State's advanced QSX formula is proven to run clean for unbeatable protection. And the Quaker State that protects this engine on the track is the same Quaker State you buy right off the shelf. Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
If you're looking for the only sports car in the world that gives you the superior traction of front-wheel drive, a competition suspension, and an unbeatable 770 protection plan, then look no further. It's gotta be the intercooled, turbocharged Dodge Daytona Shelby Z.
Now get up to $1,500 cash back on Daytona models in stock.
I'm a car thief. It's what I do for a living. This business used to be easy because there weren't any effective deterrents. Electronic systems false alarmed, and they didn't slow me down. Cuff-like devices that fit around the ignition, they're easy to defeat. Then there's the cane-like device that connects the brake pedal to the steering wheel. What a joke. I could knock those off with one kick. But now something has stopped me cold. It's called the club. I should have known when the police endorsed it I was in trouble. I couldn't cut it, remove it, or steer the car with it on. Now, if I see one in a car, I just pass it up. If enough people buy them, I'll be out of business. The club is built from heavy-duty materials, and it's adjustable to fit any vehicle. Simply attach it to your steering wheel, and the vehicle becomes undrivable. Listen to what police say about the club.
I've never seen a more effective deterrent to auto theft. We were so impressed, the auto squad uses them in their own personal cars.
Don't settle for an imitation. Buy only the club. Available at Sears and better auto supply stores.
It's time to get serious. Battle lines are drawn for the NHL's Cold War. ESPN presents the Stanley Cup playoffs. All live, all the way to the championship finals as teams take their shots at the defending champion Edmonton Oilers. The showdown heats up. The Stanley Cup playoffs, right here on ESPN.
You know, they had him just spinning one wheel there for a little bit. It seemed to be all right now. Let's see how it goes.
Possibly a rear end problem or early ratchet problem trouble for Davey Allison.
So Davey Allison is going to be struggling to get back up toward the front of the field. There he goes inside of the number 75 car, driven by Roy Smith from Seattle, Washington, who has already clinched the Winston West Championship for 1988, and that's Dave Marcus in car number 71, just ahead of Davey Allison. So Allison struggling here in the early going. Look at the interval that Rusty Wallace has opened up over second place Jeff Bodine, and Jeff has his hands full now with Ricky Rudd in car number 26 as Rudd challenges for second spot.
Well, Bob, a couple of drivers who had never been here before, Rusty Wallace and Ricky Rudd, have adapted very quickly to this relatively flat 1 mile track at Phoenix. Jeff Bodine, of course, came out here last week and did some testing, and he said that helped him to sit on the pole, but right now he does have his hands full with Ricky Rudd.
Let's watch Rudd's tactic here as they go through the dogleg on the backstretch. Not making a challenge for that second position at the moment, but it is a very tight contest for the runner-up position as Rusty Wallace has the lead. Now we'll watch Rudd stick his nose to the inside of Jeff Bodine as the cars come down the straightaway. Of course, Rudd driving the Buick and Jeff Bodine in the Chevrolet. The Bill Elliott car, and Harry Gant is in fifth. We'll be back with more of our live coverage of the Checker 500 from Phoenix International Raceway.
Man has always been fascinated with speed. But in a sport where there is no margin for error, winning is more than a quest for speed. It's a measure of skill, a test of guts. And though NASCAR has changed through the decades, its spirit still rests on what men who race have always known. It's not just the machine, it's the man who drives it. We're proud to be part of this great sport. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR.
Dodge Shadow ES. When you look at its 60 standard features, its turbocharged engine, its 770 protection plan, when you consider the fact that the Shadow ES is a better value, almost $700 less than the Chevy Cavalier C24, you'll agree, when it comes to outstanding value, it's gotta be a Dodge.
And with $500 cash back, you've now got an even better value.
To fathers about the Kodak Color Watch system.
A true test of dadhood. You've been entrusted with precious rolls of Kodak film. The family is counting on old Dad to get great developing, so you look for the Kodak Color Watch seal. Color Watch means great developing. This seal means every picture is printed on Kodak paper, so your photos will look wonderful, and your son will let you borrow the car. Kodak Color Watch for great developing. You're going to thank me for it.
It's that time again. Deer season. When you can buy a John Deere lawnmower or tractor and get one of 12 other Deere products at no extra charge. Or you can take advantage of great cash discounts, saving you anywhere from $40 to $350. For the name of the participating dealer nearest you, look for this ad in the magazine section of your Sunday newspaper. But you better hurry, because deer season doesn't last. And with deals like these, the deer won't either.
On the road again. Valvoline High Performance Motor Oil with special formulas to help keep cars like yours on the road. And on the road again. And I can't wait to get on the road again.
When you're on the road again, stop by your participating retailer and join Team Valvoline. You can save up to $3 when you buy these quality Valvoline motor oils. Plus, enter to win one of 10 Pontiac Grand Prix. Details available at store displays.
To some, it's routine maintenance. To others, it's an act of love.
If you truly appreciate fine machinery, you protect it with Purolator filters.
Welcome, everyone, to Phoenix International Raceway. ESPN Speed World today is live for the Checker 500 Winston Cup race. And here are the top positions now with 18 out of 312 laps completed. It's Rusty Wallace in the lead. Ricky Rudd is second. Third is Jeff Bodine. Fourth is Bill Elliott. And fifth is Harry Gant.
Dust out there. That could do it. Here we got a spin down in turn one.
Car sideways in turn number one. Another car spins behind, so two are involved in this. We'll try to get the numbers for you just as quickly as possible. One car is to the inside of the track, and the other one is in the middle of the racetrack. I believe that both of them are going to be able to keep going. Derek Cope is one of them involved in the number 68 car. And Jimmy Means, I believe, was the other one that got sideways and spun to the inside of the racetrack. Both are under their own power right now. The second caution period of the afternoon is upon us as the race to the caution is on, and Bill Elliott is in the pits. Let's go there.
It's a four-tire change for Elliott, Bob. He's come in. He's about the only one here on pit road, although many of the crews are ready to service their teams. Elliott's the lone one of the front runners that's chosen this opportunity to come in. They've already got the right side changed, left side changed. He's gone. He'll pick up the back of the pack.
And boy, being in the back of the pack on a track like this, it's difficult to pass on. Really.
So on lap number 24, we are under caution for the second time this afternoon. We're in the desert southwest of Phoenix, Arizona for the Checker 500.
Dodge Daytona. When you look at its long list of standards, its 770 protection plan, when you consider that Daytona is $346 less than the Ford Mustang LX hatchback, we think you'll agree. When it comes to price and performance, it's gotta be a Dodge. The Dodge Daytona, just $89.95.
Now get up to $1,500 cash back on Daytona models in stock.
It's every cowboy's worst nightmare. And when the worst is over, you head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Bush.
Does anybody want to start the campfire?
Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
Every Dodge machine competing today. It's on the track and off the road. It's the new spirit of performance.
Fishing in America. It ain't what it used to be. In fact, the only thing that hasn't changed in 40 years is that Zebco is still America's choice for pros to beginners. From dependable Zebco reels and rods, Pro Staff, and precision-engineered Quantum to tough Motor Guide trolling motors. Thanks to Zebco, fishing is better than ever. Zebco, one of the companies of Brunswick Corporation, sharing the heritage of being number one.
Why does the Monte Carlo of NASCAR champion Dale Earnhardt race on Goodyear Eagles exclusively? Because of the Goodyear Eagle contact patch and how it responds to the track. And why does Chevrolet choose Goodyear Eagle street radials for every new Monte Carlo SS? A major reason is the Goodyear Eagle contact patch, where the car ultimately responds to the road. Goodyear Eagles, because there really is a difference.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Every seat is filled, and they're standing wherever they can at Phoenix International Raceway as they enjoy for the first time ever Winston Cup racing at Phoenix International Raceway. Here are the top 5 with 25 laps completed. Rusty Wallace leads in car number 27.
The screen there trying to move around Phil Parsons. So there's good racing all over the racetrack as they expected to do here at Phoenix.
Schrader in the number 25 car running the high line through the first and second corners. We go back up front now and check on Rusty Wallace. He still has the lead by about 5 or 6 car lengths over Ricky Rudd, but Rudd is right there, poised in a position to move into the lead if Wallace should make a slight bobble. We'll be right back.
Car 1-3 will be 10-7. I'm Joe DeMarcus, and I've been a police officer for 6 years now. I first became interested in law enforcement when I was in the Air Force. After I left the service, I enrolled as a part-time student at Westmoreland County Community College. The instructors were really great. When I went for my certification to become a police officer, I had no problem. In fact, I finished at the top of my class. WCCC really worked for me, and it can work for you too.
Get a better Pontiac deal in Irwin. Hamilton Pontiac. Get a better Buick deal in Irwin. Hamilton Buick. Get a better Mazda deal in Irwin. Hamilton Mazda. Get a better Subaru deal in Irwin. Hamilton Subaru. The best deals are at Mr. Ham's place in Irwin. Hamilton Pontiac Buick Mazda and Hamilton Subaru. Route 30 in Irwin.
Trickle, trickle, a drip drop. Go in the 7-Up raindrop bop. Splash, splash, don't stop the 7-Up raindrop bop. 'Cause it feels so good. Coming down, down, down on the town. Splash, splash, we like this.
Pop about the top and do the raindrop bop.
7-Up feels so good. In the raindrop drop, drop your bum now.
If you're looking for the only sports car in the world that gives you the superior traction of front-wheel drive, a competition suspension, and an unbeatable 770 protection plan, then look no further. It's gotta be the intercooled, turbocharged Dodge Daytona Shelby Z.
Now get up to $1,500 cash back on Daytona models in stock.
Honey, game's gonna start soon.
I think I'll give the lawn a quick cut.
Good luck.
When you're long on grass and short on time, you need a mower with a Briggs & Stratton engine.
Dad, the pregame show's on!
It'll start quickly and work hard till the job's done.
Sure hope he makes it. Yes, there he is.
Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Leader is Ricky Rudd, car number 26. Rusty Wallace is second in 27. Third is Mike Alexander in car 12. Fourth is Terry Labonte in number 11. And fifth is the 5 car driven by Jeff Bodine with 154 laps completed. And we have confirmed there must be 5 green laps before that $10,000 bonus is paid. Now let's go to Jerry Punch, who has a report on the driver of this car, the number 17 Tide Machine, Darrell Waldrop.
Well, although Darrell Waltrip started in 16th spot, fellas, he has already lost a lap on the racetrack during the green, and the car was slipping and sliding so badly coming off the corners, they opted to come in during this yellow flag and work on the car. They had it on the jack stands here.
Cars have gotten in the way, but other than that, it's been a pretty good race for us.
Where's the best place to pass so far?
It's a little bit narrow here, really anywhere you can. I seem to be getting guys going in the corners. My car seems to be handling well and staying a little bit lower than them. Everybody's getting a little bit loose here, like I thought. Our chassis seems to be working pretty good, so staying underneath them in the corner seems to be the key.
All right, Alan, thank you. We'll let you get back to work. Let's take a look at those drivers and cars that have dropped out of competition in the first half of this race as they begin to line up for the restart in two abreast formation. Brett Bodine was the first out with a blown motor. Jimmy Bound retired. So does Joe Ruttman and Eddie Bierschwale in car number 23. And Bierschwale was, of course, the reason that we are under our sixth caution of the day. Ricky Rudd there on the outside in the green car number 26. That leads them down for a restart. The green flies. Rusty Wallace is behind Ricky Rudd, and then Mike Alexander in third position as they go into turn number 1.
And of course that quick dry down on the inside of the racetrack as a result of the blown engine. But everybody seemed to get through it pretty well. And now Ricky Rudd has opened himself up a pretty good lead over Rusty Wallace. Now Dale Earnhardt is trying to get back on the lead lap once again. Remember, he had just made a pit stop as the yellow flag was coming out, but he did go a lap down.
Wall, this is going to virtually block the entire racetrack. Look at the cars all banged up together, several involved, and we have fire breaking out on one of the cars. A lot of fire seen down there as the smoke begins to clear. We are unable to tell you exactly who is involved in this crash, but we do have some fire that's burning on the racetrack.
I know Rick Wilson's car was in it. I could see his car was one that was involved in the melee here on the front straightaway. The firemen over there very quickly to put the fire out as the leaders come around now and will just about have to stop as they go in there because they can't see where they're going.
Yeah, they're going to have to go very, very slowly through this area. I think if they stay to the high side, they're going to get by okay. But boy, just a tremendous crash. The number 31 car driven by Johnny Rutherford is involved in this crash. I think he's the one that had the fire from it. Now, this is the shot of it from our mountain cam. You can see several cars spinning and hitting the wall.
Hit me pretty hard on the back straight. When we come off of 4 there, I was up underneath him. He just turned into me. Spun me around. That caused one heck of a wreck and took a lot of good cars out. I don't know what he was thinking about.
Well, an upset Rick Wilson here. He's okay, but he'll have to cool off for a little while. The car heavily damaged. The Kodak Oldsmobile heads back up pit road.
Take another look at the crash from our camera outside of corner number 4 up on the mountain.
Well, as Rick Wilson said, apparently he and Greg Sachs got together, and of course they were running in a thick pack of cars, and once they got together and started spinning around, the smoke blinded everybody else, and so cars went spinning everywhere. Michael Waltrip got involved in it. The car 03 of Bill Smith got involved in it. So as Johnny Rutherford said, it really was a rough one.
But apparently all drivers are okay, and we'll be back with more of our live coverage after these messages. Stay with us.
Cars aren't cheap, never have been. That's why I never take shortcuts with cheap oil and air filters. Give me AC filters every time. AC filters match the original specs on my cars like a nut on a bolt.
Precision AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
Keep your car running the way it was made to run.
Now get up to $780 back on AC filters and plugs. See your retailer for details. Who would you say makes the best personal computers for business? The brand being added by the most major corporations? The one rated highest in performance by computer experts? The one that won the most industry awards? Or the one that's grown the fastest? Hard call, right? Not really. In each case, the answer is compact. It simply works better.
Why does Indy 500 winner Rick Mears race on Goodyear Eagles exclusively? Because of the Goodyear Eagle contact patch and how it responds to the track. And why does Oldsmobile choose Goodyear Eagle street radials for the Indianapolis 500 pace car? A major reason is the Goodyear Eagle contact patch, where the car ultimately responds to the road. Goodyear Eagles, because there really is a difference.
I heard you got one, Fred. I just had to come over and take a look.
Yeah, wanted one all my life. Great. Look at the way it's put together. No wonder they laugh.
Mind if I just, sit behind the wheel? Oh, boy, would I like one of these. Can I take it for a spin?
Well, just in the front yard.
Oh, boy.
Nothing runs like a deer.
Savages? Nah, it's just guys with skin a little irritated from shaving. That's why there's new Aquavelva skin conditioning aftershave.
Hey, that's a different kind of Aquavelva.
Right. It's a rich, creamy lotion for irritated skin. Guys prefer its soothing formula and great fragrance over the leading brand.
You savage.
New Aquavelva skin conditioning aftershave. Soothes the savage skin.
One more reason. There's something about today's Aquavelva man.
Ah, the joys of getting ready for summer vacation. So much to fit in, so many details to remember. That's why it's nice to know Holiday Inn hotels are always there, with everything you want in a vacation hotel. Now with summer great rates, enjoy it all for only $29, $39, or $49. But get going, rooms are limited. Call now for summer great rates at a great vacation hotel.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Well, let's take a look once again at the crash that has caused this very lengthy delay.
And it started when Rick Wilson said he and Greg Sachs got together as they were coming. Actually, Bob, I think they'd gotten off of turn 4 and down the front straightaway. And as they spun around, then several other cars got involved as well. Rick Wilson, of course, and Greg Sachs, Bill Smith, Michael Waltrip, Johnny Rutherford, and the car number 6 of Mark Martin.
But look now at the crews that come over immediately to the wall and begin to extinguish the flames. Sure, there is a lot of competition out there on the racetrack, but when the driver is in trouble, they are right there to assist in any way they can with safety precautions.
Well, of course, the safety crew here at the Phoenix International Raceway were on the scene very quickly as well as some of the crew members that were pitted in that area.
So the cleanup is continuing from this crash that has taken 6 cars out of the Checker 500. We'll be back with more of our live coverage from Phoenix International Raceway.
Why does Indy 500 winner Rick Mears race on Goodyear Eagles exclusively? Because of the Goodyear Eagle contact patch and how it responds to the track. And why does Oldsmobile choose Goodyear Eagle street radials for the Indianapolis 500 pace car? A major reason is the Goodyear Eagle contact patch, where the car ultimately responds to the road. Goodyear Eagles, because there really is a difference.
I'm pretty good at baseball, but at SLR cameras, I was really green. Then I got Canon EOS, the only autofocus SLR with the green zone. The green zone makes EOS mistake-proof. Plus, EOS lenses have computers and motors built in, so anyone can shoot like a pro. Even him. Hey, you see? Canon EOS, more than autofocus, easier than ever.
Buy EOS today with no money down, low monthly payments at participating Canon dealers.
This year, thousands of people who thought they bought a house paint that would last, and last, and last, will discover what they really got for their money. The wrong paint. Make sure you get the right paint. Durable Glidden Spread House Paint. A paint that really lasts. On sale now for a low price that won't. Glidden, your paint should be this good.
All right, where's Joey? He should be back by now.
Here he is.
Let me explain something, kid. The winner here can take home $500,000. I know. You win with one battery. That's not it.
Since 1971, more Indy winners have started with the same Sears Die Hard you can buy for your car than with any other battery in the world.
To some, it's routine maintenance. To others, it's an act of love. If you truly appreciate fine machinery, you protect it with Purolator filters.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. A fresh look at today's problems. Buy your copy wherever paperbacks are sold.
Sir, would you choose hamburger A, a Wendy's hamburger that's made fresh, or B, a pre-made hamburger that's been sitting around?
I'll take A.
Really?
No, B. I said B.
No, you didn't, sir. You said
Most people prefer fresh hamburgers like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. It's the rhythm of the moon. It's the pulse of the sea. By the night of neon light.
You don't have to spend $1 million to look like you did. Just catch the brand new beat, the all-new Chevy Cavalier.
The heartbeat of America. That's today, Chevrolet.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
ESPN Speed World at Phoenix International Raceway this afternoon for the Checker 500 Winston Cup race. We're in the desert with the cactus and the cowboys and the horses, but that mountain over there back of turn number 4 is populated this afternoon with thousands of race fans who couldn't get a ticket for a seat, so they have chosen to watch this race from the mountain. We're 168 laps into this race, still under caution, still cleaning up this massive crash on the straightaway. No driver injuries involved in that incident.
Cars involved in the accident even before they got this thing cleaned up. What's happened now is Earnhardt's team is searching for tires. They'd like more. Elliott's okay. Rudd would like to find a set. Rusty would like to find a set. And Waltrip's team says they are borderline. But there are still some additional tires around here. Hopefully everybody's going to have enough to be able to get good sets for the run to the checkered flag.
So the cleanup still continues from that crash, and so we will take another commercial break and return in just a moment with more of the Checker 500.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. The engine in the new Quaker State Porsche IndyCar develops 750 horsepower, so it takes an oil this good to protect it. At 11,000 RPM, engine temperatures soar to 800 degrees. Quaker State's advanced QSX formula is proven to run clean for unbeatable protection. And the Quaker State that protects this engine on the track is the same Quaker State you buy right off the shelf. Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
There's no office politics here. Now when something opens up, I know I'll get a fair shot.
Union, yes.
I'm taking time off for my baby. And it's good to know my job will be safe.
Say union, yes.
Imagine the questions our kids will have when they start to work. The world is changing, and our unions give us a voice in how things change.
America works best when we say union, yes.
Who makes the best personal computers for business? When you rank different models, a startling pattern emerges. The most powerful PC in the world, the most powerful portable in the world, and the most powerful mid-range PCs in the world all have one thing in common. They come from the company whose annual sales reached $1 billion faster than any other in history. Compaq. It simply works better.
Too many people think a spark plug's a spark plug. Well, all spark plugs aren't alike. These AC copper core plugs match my car's specs like rounds in a chamber, firing up to 30 times a second for up to 30,000 miles of high revving firepower.
Precision AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
Keep your car running the way it was made to run.
Now get up to $780 back on AC filters and plugs. See your retailer for details.
Introducing Kodacolor Gold 100.
I see your true color shining through. See your true color shining through.
Kodacolor Gold 100 gives you the most accurate colors, the truest colors of any print film.
Don't be afraid to let them show.
A new Kodacolor Gold.
Your true color.
Where's Charlie?
So how's your new lawnmower?
Great. I've wanted a John Deere all my life. Got there first thing this morning. Done in no time. Where is he?
I've had my John Deere rider for years. Never had a bit of trouble.
Mine started this morning like the first day I got it, and it's 7 years old.
So what's keeping Charlie?
He doesn't have a John Deere, does he?
Nothing runs like a deer.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
.171 laps complete out of 312, and Ricky Rudd has the lead over Rusty Wallace, Terry Labonte, Mike Alexander, and Jeff Bodine. 6 through 10, Alan Kulwicki, Sterling Marlin, Bill Elliott, Davey Allison, and Phil Parsons. And then 11 through 15, Benny Parsons, Bobby Hillen Jr., Harry Gant, Dale Earnhardt, and Kyle Petty. Now we'll check the cars that have been forced out of competition. And most of those that have dropped out have been because of this most recent crash.
So we'll watch for Rudd to come in the next couple of laps.
So indeed, it does show that the new tires can give you some faster speeds, but it also shows that Rudd is on the older tires and therefore needs some new ones if he's going to stay up. We'll be right back.
Somehow there's got to be a cure for athlete's foot.
Hey, step up to the mic.
Mike.
Mycotin. This cures athlete's foot. It's got something the others don't. Myconazole. There's nothing more powerful.
Yes? You got something that cures athlete's foot?
Sure, step up to the mic.
Huh?
Mycotin. It cures athlete's foot.
Step up to the cure. Step up to the mic. Mycotin, also in deodorant spray.
This is a brand new $18,000 car. Put in a leading motor oil. This is an identical new car. Put in Mobil 1. Start them up and drive. Under extreme conditions, temperatures inside your engine can reach 570 degrees. Of course, Mobil 1 costs more. But then, under extreme conditions, look at what can happen to conventional motor oil. Mobil 1. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Some garage door manufacturers offer a 1-year warranty. Some will give you one for 10 years. Some will partially cover their garage doors for a little longer. But only one company will warranty its garage door to last as long as you own your home. And that could be a very long time. The Rainer Decade Garage Door. The only door warranted to last as long as you own your home.
Where can you find America's best-selling camcorder outfit with a free $149 telephoto lens? The case, camcorder, and accessories are all yours for just $26 a month. Where? Only at Sears.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Ricky Rudd leads the Checker 500 here at Phoenix International Raceway. He is, well, actually, he's gone over now the prescribed lap that he was going to come in on. He was supposed to come in on lap number 34, according to his crew. He has completed lap 235, and coming down this time, he will complete lap 236 if he does, or is he going to make the pit stop? Nope, he's staying out there again.
Yes, he is. He's riding pretty comfortable, I guess, and hates to give up that lead. And he knows that when he and Rusty or Alan Kulwicki stops, that'll put Rusty Wallace back in the lead lap.
And from our mountain cam outside of turn number 4, we have a panorama overall view of this 1 mile D-shaped oval here at Phoenix as Rudd goes into turn number 3.
He's still maintaining about a 7 9/10 second lead over Alan Kulwicki, who is running in the second position. We'll check him again this time as he goes across the start-finish line. And Kulwicki coming off of turn 4. Kulwicki has been in some traffic recently. He's coming up on Darrell Walkup now, and he's still about 7 8/10 seconds behind Ricky Rudd.
Rick Wilson was involved in this crash down on the main straightaway. However, it did not stop him from competing in this race. He took the front end off the car, but he's still out there on the racetrack picking up some Winston Cup points. Dick?
Bob, that wins my vote as the most bashed up car to return to Winston Cup racing in 1988. The whole front end of that thing was torn out from the crash. The radiator was way back into the engine. The fan was gone. Front end components were gone. These guys have done an incredible job getting this car back onto the racetrack. You can see a little piece of pipe on the front. That's what used to be the front bumper. That's all pushed in. Almost everything from the firewall forward is crooked.
We're certainly not over yet, but Rudd has led the most laps this afternoon, and I think has proven that he has been the strongest throughout most of the first 275 laps. Excitement, speed, Phoenix, and NASCAR, we're here for the Checker 500.
People are always saying to me, Jacko, relax. But tell me this, if yours really was the longest lasting battery you could buy, and nobody knew it, would you be calm? I think not.
Knocking and pinging. It can bring out the animal in anyone. So we developed high-octane Chevron Supreme and added the cleansing power of Tech Relief. Now you'll be free to go without a moment's hesitation. Chevron, we fuel your freedom.
The joys of getting ready for summer vacation. So much to fit in, so many details to remember. That's why it's nice to know Holiday Inn Hotels are always there, with everything you want in a vacation hotel. Now with summer great rates, enjoy it all for only $29, $39, or $49. But get going, rooms are limited. Call now for summer great rates at a great vacation hotel.
Chevy S10 invites you to own the street with the biggest engine ever offered in a compact pickup. The most V6 power and torque available in a compact truck. And a price to make your heart beat faster than ever.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Turbochargers run hot, and when the heat is on, make sure Turbo Formula is in. Valvoline Turbo Formula High Performance Motor Oil.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
back at Phoenix, where Ricky Rudd continues to set the pace. And again, we remind you that toward the end of the race, in just a few more laps, as a matter of fact, we'll be announcing the Goodyear Eagle driver of the race. And Goodyear will be giving $1,000 to the Winston Cup Racing Wives Association in that driver's name.
Harry Gant in the Skoll Bandit car, and in 7th is Davey Allison. Now those are the only 7 cars on the lead lap. Ricky Rudd is about 100 yards behind Davey Allison from putting him a lap down, but Allison has been able to maintain that position or that distance between he and Rudd for the last 10 or 15 laps.
So we see Rudd, Kulwicki, Labonte, Wallace, and Elliott running in the top 5, and Gant, Allison, Hillen, Bodine, and Parsons in the second 5.
There are 3 good reasons to try A&W root beer. 1, it's rich and delicious. 2, it's a great change of pace. 3, you don't buy it, I may have to go back to my old job. Pig catching.
What harm can a little water do? That's why there's Rust-Oleum. We put our own exclusive ingredients in to keep moisture out. So if it's going to get wet, get Rust-Oleum.
Sure, I'm street tough, but underneath, I'm a sensitive guy. That's why I wear Hanes. Even us tough guys like a little extra comfort.
You tell him, Bruce, it's not just underwear. It's Hanes.
Do you want to take a few seconds to make your car look better? Okay, when you finish washing it, do the tires with Armor All Protectant. You can do a tire in about 15 seconds. Go on, try it. Oh, now, if the tires look new, is that okay?
Americans buy lots of imported cars. Isn't it nice to know that Napa has the parts right here when you need them? Don't miss the boat on parts for imports. Come to Napa. Your neighborhood Napa Auto Parts store has more than 125,000 parts for the typical American car. Whatever that is.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
In our opinion, the Goodyear Eagle driver of the race is Alan Kulwicki. Goodyear will be sending a check for $1,000 in Alan's name to the Winston Cup Racing Wives Association. From a very good driver to a very good cause. Alan is running second in the race, and he has come back from a couple of adversities this afternoon to run very strong in the race, and that's the reason why we have chosen him as our driver of the race.
And he is now gaining on Ricky Rudd. He has cut what was an 8-second lead down to about 5 6/10 seconds, Bob. So this race is not over, even though Ricky Rudd is sitting out there comfortably ahead. But if he does have an overheating problem, maybe he's backed off a little bit to sort of conserve that engine. Let us update the fans. We talked about what.
Well, we see maybe some smoke from this car. Dick Berggren, have you got a handle on what might be happening here?
I sure do, Bob, and you are dead right. He does have an overheating problem. Ricky Rudd is having problems with that engine running hot. The faces on the crew here are faces of concern. Everybody is worried. This team has dropped out of 9 races this year with engine failure. They are right now getting the equipment ready to spray water on the radiator in case Rudd has to come in. Definite overheating problem in Rudd's car. The time is running out. Can he hang on, or is this going to be Alan Kulwicki's first win?
19 more laps to go, and the smoke becomes more evident from the Ricky Rudd car on every circuit of the racetrack. This completes lap 294, and the race is 312 laps, so it is not over. Don't go away. Stay with us. Now look at the smoke coming out of that car. It's very evident now.
And the lead has shrunk to 4 seconds, so he's lost half of the lead that he did have. He was 8 seconds ahead, now it's 4, and I suspect it'll be less than that the next time around.
Now let's go back and pick up what you were about to talk about, Ned, and this Winston Cup situation.
Okay, if Rusty Wallace should win at Atlanta, if they wind up the way they're running here today, which is in 4th, Wallace is in 4th place, and Elliott in 5th place, and to go to Atlanta with the 69-point lead, Bill Elliott would only have to finish 18th or better, even if Rusty Wallace wins the race down there. Our statistician, Ken Martin, has figured that out for us.
Coming into the pits, obviously something has gone wrong with that car. As we indicated, overheating may be the problem in any case. Here comes Ricky Rudd into the pits with 16 laps to go, and let's go to Dick Berggren.
No, he's not.
They are ready for him. They're ready with the water hose, but they're not going to have to use it. He's turned back into the garage. His day is over.
Unbelievable situation again for Ricky Rudd, who once again comes close but does not win the race. And now Alan Kulwicki is set up for his first ever Winston Cup Series win.
Well, Alan has run a very, very strong race here today, starting in the 21st position, dropped all the way back at the tail end of the pack early in the race when he had some tire problems, cut a couple of tires down, then they had a lug nut problem, got all of that squared away, and has driven his heart out, and now leading the race.
But something has happened to the car, or something has gone wrong that has prevented him from tasting the sweet taste of victory, but it could happen now in 12 more laps for Alan Kulwicki. So as we get set up for the finish, and as the Alan Kulwicki crew prays for his victory, we'll be back right after this.
Whatever you want to lock in, lock out, lock up, or lock down, remember, Master locks are tough under tough conditions, tough under pressure, tough under fire.
And now, Dexter by Master Lock. Door hardware that's as tough as it is beautiful.
When you buy a new lawnmower, you want to believe that each one will be the last you'll ever have to buy. But in time, it becomes painfully clear that not all lawnmowers are engineered to last. Knowing this, why would you settle for anything less than a Honda? Year after year, the right tool for mowing the lawn.
The Porsche engine in the Quaker State Indy car performs at a punishing 11,000 RPM. And the clean-running Quaker State with QSXer Protector is the same oil you buy right off the shelf. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Where can you find America's best-selling camcorder outfit with a free $149 telephoto lens? The case, camcorder, and accessories are all yours for just $26 a month. Where? Only at Sears.
This is how a Ferrari Testarossa looks on the road. And this is how a Ferrari Testarossa looks to the road, where it ultimately responds through the contact patch of its Goodyear Eagle tires. The exclusive tires chosen by Ferrari for every Testarossa sold in America. Goodyear Eagles, because there really is a difference.
I'm in the garage area with a disappointed Ricky Rudd. Ricky, what happened? Did the motor give up finally?
Well, I think it must have cracked a cell head or something this time. It started running hot with about 60, 70 laps to go, and for the longest time I just was nursing it. You know, I got out front, got a big lead, and the water temperature started going crazy, so I just backed off the throttle. Must have run another 50, 60 laps just running partial throttle, and surprised that it was able to make it as long as it did.
Well, it was a good, strong run, but today victory lane will not be for Ricky Rudd.
Quaker State Buick's been awful tough this year. You know, yeah, it's disappointing. You know, it's hard not to be, but we're coming back next year. We got Lou LaRosa coming on board, and we feel like we got a good shot at the championship.
He sure does. You can believe that.
6 more laps to go for Alan Kulwicki and his first Winston Cup win. Let's go to Jerry Punch quickly in the pit area.
Well, gentlemen, in 1977, Alan Kulwicki graduated from the University of Wisconsin with a mechanical engineering degree. He told me he couldn't believe that 9 years later, he was the Winston Cup Rookie of the Year, 1986. And here, 11 years later from his graduation from college, he is an accomplished Winston Cup winner.
In hand. There it is, displayed to Alan Kulwicki, who'll probably take no chances and may just let Rusty Wallace stay right there. He'll take no chances of becoming involved in any kind of an incident as he is on his last lap now with about a half mile to go before his first Winston Cup victory ever. and it comes at Phoenix International Raceway in the inaugural event here. Alan Kulwicki from Greenfield, Wisconsin, in his 85th start on the Winston Cup Series. Here he comes out of corner number 4. Rusty Wallace a little bit loose coming off here. They're going to cross the line just about side by side, but it is Alan Kulwicki winning the inaugural Checker 500 from Phoenix International Raceway.
And what a drive he has made here this afternoon. As they were crossing the start-finish line, Harry Gant apparently ran out of gas.
Let's try to contact Alan on the radio. Alan, you with us?
Yeah, just for my radio.
Congratulations, you did it.
Yeah, thank you. It's great. I'm so happy I could just find it. The guys and the crew worked hard all year for this. We had our problems early, but we came back, and I'd like to thank my sponsors, Xerox, Amoco, and Winter Ford. Say hi to my dad, who's been coming to all my races. He finally missed one, and it happened to be there one I won, but I hope there'll be more.
Alan, we'll talk to you further in Victory Lane. Just wanted to get your early congratulations in here on a very, very fine afternoon for you.
Thank you.
So we'll talk with Alan Kulwicki in Victory Lane in just a moment. He's won the Checker 500 here at Phoenix.
Is the place.
Ace 7-Star, our best latex flat house paint. On sale now for just $10.99 a gallon. Hey, quality makes a difference. And at Ace, they've got you covered. Hey, let me tell you, Ace is a painting place for me.
I wasn't sure where to get my muffler fixed.
At Midas, we stock more mufflers than anyone.
Everyone promised low prices.
Midas prices take the sting out of muffler repair costs.
The difference was Midas.
Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Great teams aren't born. They're built, player by player. Introducing new Citrus Cooler Gatorade. It speeds in fluids and minerals. Supplies energy to working muscles. With a cool citrus taste all its own. If you're going to be part of this lineup, lemon lime, orange, fruit punch, lemonade, this is cooler. You'd better bring something to the party. New Citrus Cooler Gatorade.
Now, a revolution in blade shaving from Remington, the new Remington Electro Blade, with vibrating blades for a close, smooth, comfortable shave. Safe, immersible, and cordless. The new Remington Electro Blade vibrating blade system.
The Noid wants to make your pizza ice cold. But Domino's pizza is hot and fresh. Because they deliver in less than 30 minutes. Sorry, Lloyd. Domino's Pizza delivers hot and fresh.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. The engine in the new Quaker State Porsche IndyCar develops 750 horsepower, so it takes an oil this good to protect it. At 11,000 RPM, engine temperatures soar to 800 degrees. Quaker State's advanced QSX formula is proven to run clean for unbeatable protection. And the Quaker State that protects this engine on the track is the same Quaker State you buy right off the shelf. Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
The Checker 500 at Phoenix International Raceway has been brought to you by Goodyear Eagle Tires. Goodyear, because there really is a difference. By Purolator, the first name in filters. For Pure Oil now and Pure Oil later, it's Purolator. By Quaker State Motor Oil, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will. Alan Kulwicki got lost on his way to Victory Lane. He isn't there yet. He took a lap going the opposite direction on the racetrack, but now he's down here in front of us, and they'll be pushing his car into victory lane in just a few moments. Quite a sight. There is Alan going down the backstretch the wrong way on the track.
Bob, I have been involved in the sport of auto racing for about 35 years, and that's the first time that I've ever seen the winner say out on the racetrack and go the wrong way. But he wanted all of those fans, he wanted to wave at them, the thousands up on the hills here at the Phoenix International Raceway and everywhere. He wanted to see him. He took an extra lap while you were talking to him on the radio.
Right.
And he has been a long time getting to victory lane, but boy, he is really a happy fellow.
Just wanted to savor the victory, I guess. Well, our Winner's Circle interview is being brought to you by Goodyear Eagle Tires. Goodyear, because there really is a difference. And we see Dr. Jerry Punch right there. Jerry, take it away.
Well, outstanding. Alan Kulwicki in the Xerox Ford, and he rode to victory on those Goodyear Eagles you just mentioned. And Alan, all I can say is Special K, congratulations, partner.
Oh, it was a great day for us. And the Goodyear tires did work good for us all day. We had a couple of flats, but we came back, and the crew did a good job. And Paul Anderson and Randy Andrews, Bob Sutton, all the guys on the crew really deserve a lot of credit. That victory lap there is something I had thought about for a long time, and I wanted to do something special and never be another first win, and I just wanted to give them something to remember me by.
Alan, we were talking about that. The extra lap while you're talking to Bob Jenkins. You know, outstanding effort. 85th start for Alan Kulwicki. Special K now entry into the Winston next year. The All-Star race, he climbs out to a celebration. 33 years old. Special K has a special day at Phoenix. Gentlemen.
Well, it's nice to see Alan in victory lane at last. He was one of those who you just thought that was going to win a race soon, and by golly, it finally occurred under a deep blue sky here in the Arizona desert, about 25 miles outside of Phoenix, Arizona. The points now, Bill Elliott with 43.58, Rusty Wallace with 42.79, and Dale Earnhardt with 41.27. Earnhardt is eliminated from the Winston Cup, and there were no points gained by Rusty Wallace. He went into the race 79, and he comes out 79 behind. So Elliott needs to finish in the top 18 to clinch the title at Atlanta in 2 weeks' time. My thanks to Jerry Punch and Dick Bergeron on pit road, and to Ned Jarrett in the booth. Don't forget SpeedWeek this Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll see you 2 weeks from today for the final event at Atlanta International Raceway. Till then, Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.
In 13 cities in 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines Royal Pacific Service, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve, halfway around the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
It's Mazda SportsLook, where you see the brightest stars, the leading personalities, the headliners and cover stories of the sports world. On SportsLook, the issues get analyzed and the questions get answered. The host of SportsLook is Roy Firestone, award-winning journalist and interviewer, supported by an expert cast of sports authority. SportsLook is brought to you by Mazda and the exciting new Mazda cars and trucks, delivering exceptional performance, luxury, and comfort the Mazda way. Now, your SportsLook host, Roy Firestone.
Remember the show What Makes Sammy Run? Well, he is basketball's version of Sammy Glick, somehow a cross between Dr. Naismith and Dr. Ruth. By now, you're familiar with the Mount Rushmore of college basketball analysts. First, it was Al McGuire. Then it was Billy Packer, the frickin' frack of the round ball world. Now, perhaps a figure larger than the game itself, often to the chagrin of players, coaches, fans, and himself, the one and only Mr. V, Dick Vitale, one-time coach, now broadcaster, author, and yes, a bit-part movie actor. We'll talk to Mr. PT today on SportsLook. Later, Ted Green looks at some breakthrough players in the NBA. 3 to watch, he says, in 1989. Then Alan Rothenberg on the violence on ice in the NHL. Does a player really have any recourse after an assault beyond the league's ruling? But first, here is an assault on the senses from Mr. Vitale. I tell you what, I don't know where to begin. I tell you, Dick Vitale, you're rocking and socking. You got a brand new book, Vitale, by Kirk Kirkpatrick. Only in America could it happen here. Dick Vitale's got a brand new basketball magazine. And yes, Dick Vitale, only in America could it happen here, is going to be a movie star. Is this true? With Tim McCarver?
Well, Naked Gun, I was there. Priscilla Presley, Ricardo Montalban. Only one missing is Roy. Last time we were together, you dazzled them at Friends for Fratello in Atlanta. You flat out dazzled them. Best MC I've ever been around.
This guy is my agent, folks. Call Vitale if you want me to speak, because you should get 10%, really.
I should really, after the way I promoted you. Hey, I'll tell you this. You're one of the top 3 viewers in America. Number 1, you got to talk about you, and you got to talk Larry King.
Right,
and there's a guy in Detroit you never heard of. Remember this name.
Okay.
Joseph Priestley McCarthy. J.P. McCarthy in Detroit is awesome. He can hang with the 2 big ones, Firestone and King. Okay. Where the Lakers are. Roy, you would have unbelievable, this scene. They're dancing, they're rocking and rolling. You can't believe it at the Silverdome. 40,000 going bananas. They're giving high fives. Dantley and Isaiah. Magic comes out of the game. The sartorial splendor. Riley takes him out of the game. He comes over to Cooper, puts his arm around Cooper, who was really struggling. He says, don't worry, Coop. Something to that effect. But the bottom line is, he says, hey, Kareem, hey, Coop, they're celebrating here. But somebody's got to tell them they got to win 4, baby, and they got to come to our living room for 2 other shots. It's not over. And you know the bottom line. Magic won. Jordan, the most electrifying ever to play the game. In fact, I would give him the edge, and I never thought I'd say this, over Dr. J. He's the most sensational, electrifying, star kind of quality player. Bird, shade below Magic because of Magic's just ability. I just think his personality just puts him in another league so that he can monitor their activities instead of turning these kids loose to where they're with some really shady characters. And plus, I say, let the kid practice with the team. Don't allow him to lose a year's eligibility in terms of his 5 and 4. Allow him to still be able to play 4 years. Don't penalize him so severely if he doesn't make it. And then the other thing I hate about it is a stigma we put on him. Every announcer, including Dick Vitale and that other guy on CBS and that other guy on NBC, you'll hear us constantly say, he's a Prop 48 victim. Right. It's like carrying a sign on campus.
Scarlet letter.
Look at me. Yeah, and I think that's unfair.
All right. Dick Vitale, one of the many things he's doing, the Dick Vitale basketball magazine for the serious fan. We're going to come back, talk about Larry Brown in the NBA, his feelings of the way it was in the NBA with his old Pistons, with the one and only, hey, Dick Vitale, Mr. PT. We'll see you in just a few moments.
You'd think it would be easy to find a high-quality small sedan that's reliable, durable, and comfortable. And maybe it is. But to find one that's also sophisticated enough to be all kinds of fun to drive, well, that's a little harder to find. But I can save you a lot of chasing around. All you gotta do is corner a Mazda 323. Mazda 323, a small sedan, the Mazda way.
Sarah, keep an eye on your brother.
Face it, you never really know how demanding business is going to be. So more and more companies are choosing Konica, the copiers they know they can rely on.
Let's go, kids.
No matter what size your company, no matter what size the job, Konica copiers are ready. Konica, capturing the imagination.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Guests on SportsLook receive Franklin's Language Master, world's only dictionary, thesaurus and phonetic spelling corrector. All words by Merriam-Webster. From Franklin, first in electronic reference.
By the way, in that Language Master, they don't have some of the language this guy uses. I'll tell you that for sure. And the whole way he uses the language. Dick Vitale, the subject of a brand new Curry Kirkpatrick book. Time of my life, I had some great kids, Franklin School in East Rutherford, New Jersey. That's not that long ago, though, really. Well, then in 78, I was coaching in the NBA, and I was so awed. I know why I got fired now. 71 to 6th grade in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 78 in the NBA. I'm sitting on courtside, and I'm looking. There's Jerry West. I said, my buddies would like me to get his autograph. So I didn't do any coaching, and they gave me the Ziggy, Roy. They sent me the TV tubes. Rocking on the sidelines. I love this shot of you. You with the mustache and the big, wide tie and those glasses. Doesn't even look like you, Dick. Well, I'll tell you what. There's another better picture of me doing a dance, calling me Disco Dick. And you know who we beat that night? I don't know if I should say this. They were national champs in 1977. We had a 20-game win streak. We went to Milwaukee. Not Al. You beat my idol. Yes. Oh. Hey, Al's got to love all the beautiful things I say about him in a book because really he was one of my idols. He's a people-oriented guy, and I like any guy that, has fun at what he does. And he has fun, as does John Madden. And I think I have a little fun doing what I'm doing. Who's the wilder guy, you or Al? I mean, Al McGuire is an original. I mean, he's still with his motorcycles, and he's out in the, the Bowery. It doesn't matter where he is. He's always himself. I would have liked to see him stay in college because I think his personality is definitely conducive to the college environment. He's a tremendous teacher. And I have a lot of fun with Larry. But you know what? I can get mad at Dick Vitale sometimes because Dick can get a little bit annoying. Sometimes I say, Dick, you really didn't say that. Is there ever a point where a coach can make too much money? Is there a danger? No, I don't think so for this reason. I mean, this is America, as we always talk about, Roy. Right. Everybody's getting on Danny Manning's case right now because of the dollars that he's after. The bottom line is you get what people are willing to pay, whatever the market is willing to offer. And as long as a coach is doing it in a very fair way. You got to remember this now. The coaches that are making the mega bucks, we hear about them, but there are a lot of coaches that aren't making it. Right. And those coaches that are making it are bringing in all kinds of revenue with television, packed houses. They deserve it. Hey, I'm a president of the coaches union now, so they deserve it. Jordan or Magic Johnson, no way, Jose. No way. Good player, yes. Superstar, question mark, needs time. Give me surprise of the year in the NBA this year. A surprise team? Well, you look in the NBA, surprise. I like the Knickerbockers. Yes. I think Oakley is going to give them a tremendous Windex man, sweeping that glass. I don't know how Chicago can let him go for Cartwright, who's at EN, basically. Atlanta a shoe-in right now? Well, they got to find out. My guy Fratello is going to be under the gun because of his foot. Be back in time to make a difference? Well, in January, when the league schedule starts, he'll be there. And they got some players at North Carolina. Don't cry for Uncle Dean. Michelangelo. I always tell Valvano, he's on my case. He says, I love Dean Smith. I said, V, you got to understand something. At least I call him Michelangelo. I make him Italian. By the way, Bob Costas, by the way, this is not Costas' original line, but he used it anyway. He said, once I didn't speak to Dick Vitale for 6 months, I didn't think it was right to interrupt him. This is the name of the new book, Vitale with Curry Kirkpatrick. And by the way, getting great reviews with the basketball magazine and the TV show and the game of the week and the movie. This guy's unbelievable. I'll see you on the tour, my friend. Great seeing you again. Roy, it's a pleasure. Absolutely. You're beautiful people. Mr. PT. We'll be back with more at SportsLook after.
Listen to the heartbeat. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
Moving into more car doesn't have to be expensive or boring. Today's Chevrolet Celebrity. It's for people who've grown up without growing old.
The heartbeat of America. Yesterday, Chevrolet.
If we keep digging in this bloody desert, we'll be changing oil on air filters every month.
Calm down, Percy. Now you can receive a $3 rebate every time you buy a Purolator air and oil filter together. It's like getting free oil filters for life.
For life?
Absolutely. But registration is for a limited time.
How can you be free for life?
Free for afterlife.
Afterlife?
For the best filter offer in this life or the next, look for this Purolator display.
Jason.
Sid, how are you?
Good.
Gail, how are you?
I'm terrific. How about you?
Fine. Oh, looks like you're celebrating.
We accepted Gail's offer on the Market Street building this morning.
Oh, not Market Street and South 18th.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, aren't you going to congratulate me?
Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? I mean, we made an offer on that space and we're still interested. You know that.
Tough luck. The building's sold.
What do you mean it's sold?
You had every opportunity to make us a counteroffer.
No, I didn't. I mean, you should have let me know what was going on. We would have upped our bid.
I did. I called your office yesterday.
What do you mean you called my office?
I called your office to let you know you had until 5 last night to counteroffer. I left you a message.
You left me a message?
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
We're at the beautiful Lovejoy Plantation, located about 3 miles from Atlanta International Raceway, and we're reviewing the careers of 3 of NASCAR's greatest drivers, Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and Benny Parsons. Now, we originally had entitled this a retirement show, and one thing we have to clear up right off the bat, Buddy, you're not retired, are you?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about when you talk about retiring. That's a very final word. Both Benny and Cale have, ventures that they do other than racing. I own a race team, and I feel that I have a lot to offer to the race team.
Wait a minute, Cale, you got a race team. Are you retired or not?
I'm retired.
I mean, you're not going to test. You're not going to do anything.
I'm not going to test. I'm going to be through with it. I feel like that even owning the racing team, I'll be involved in it enough, I think, and get enough joy out of it, seeing my cars win, I hope.
I hear you're going to retire. And, that is such a final word, retired. And you get in a situation that you want to test for somebody or get in a car and just see what it feels like. And how can you be retired and do those things? So I keep telling everybody I'm changing direction.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that you may not get into a car. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. We're all going to walk in the same gate we've been walking in for 25 or 30 years.
You talking about retiring from being a participant, really.
That's right. I'm talking about as retiring as being a race car driver. I'm going to work for ESPN. I'm going to...
Buddy, you're shaking your head.
What are you shaking your head?
Well, I can't say that either, Benny. I still enjoy it, and I know I would enjoy racing again. Now, the biggest thing that I have to make clear in my mind is that if I did race again, that it wouldn't hurt my race team, first off. And secondly, that I had something to gain. And quite frankly, I don't feel that I have anything to prove to anyone anymore, so I may be retired. I'll just put it that way, but I'm not going to say it because I hate these guys that go 2 years and then they get back and they want to run Daytona, Talladega, this, that, and the other. And everybody says, I thought he retired,
hadn't had any success in a while. And it just finally got frustrating not to go out week in and week out and not think that you're going to win.
You share that opinion, Cale?
No, not really. Because, here again, I said I planned mine, and I knew that with a new team, buying a new team and starting up a new team, it was going to be awful tough to win any races. So I knew that I was going to have a couple lean years, but, it's just the way I planned it. But I wanted to establish my team and get it going before I stepped out completely, get everything working. But it still is tough when you're accustomed to winning, it's tough not to win.
Well, we'll be back to Lovejoy Plantation as we continue our special Speed Week with Cale Yarborough, Benny Parsons, and Buddy Baker.
SpeedWeek is
brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. And by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name.
In auto racing, the big Q stands for quality. In Quaker State's 11,000 RPM Porsche-powered Indy car. In Ricky Rudd's 625 horsepower high-torque V8. These great racing engines demand the great name in motor oil. Quaker State with QSX, proven to run clean for unbeatable protection from wear and tear.
And the Quaker State that protects all these engines on the track is the same oil you buy right off the shelf.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
It's every cowboy's worst nightmare. And when the worst is over, you head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Busch.
Does anybody want to start the campfire?
Head for the mountains of Busch Beer. Once you hear it, you gotta get near it. There's a whole lot of nothing going on. You want a snack? You gotta get that pack. There's a whole lot of nothing going on.
Incredibly delicious and so full of energy, Planters nuts are one irresistible snack.
Once you hear it, you gotta get near it. There's a whole lot of nothing going on. Planters.
It's on. It's on. The Christmas sale is on at your local coast-to-coast Home and Auto and Otasco dealer stores. Save now on the 100 miniature light in-connector set from Noma. Decorate indoors and out only $6.99. And save on Eveready Energizer batteries. 2 AA or AAA only $1.49. 2 C, D, or 9-volt only $1.79. At your local coast-to-coast Home and Auto and Otasco dealer stores.
Every Dodge machine competing today. It's on the track and off the road. It's the new spirit of performance.
The new spirit of Dodge! The new spirit of Dodge!
ESPN opens the door on a college basketball season slam jammed with color and excitement. Friday, November 18th, the ball gets rolling with a sparkling triple header from the Dodge Big Apple NIT. Then Saturday, November 19th, the Hall of Fame Tip-Off Classic pits Duke against Kentucky. The color and excitement of live college basketball and ESPN. The right combination.
Three legends in the sport of Winston Cup racing, Cale Yarborough, Benny Parsons, and Buddy Baker are our special guests tonight on this edition of SpeedWeek. Well, I guess the standard question is, what's been your most exciting, memorable moment in auto racing, Cale?
One of the greatest things that ever happened to me was winning the 1968 Southern 500 in Darlington. That's where my racing career started. That's my home. Most embarrassing moment.
That you wanted to dig you a hole and crawl in it and just cover it up after you.
Well, I can't answer. I got one.
I had said, well, you answer that one.
Go ahead. While he thinks about it.
For me, I was leading the Texas Raceway out there by 2 laps, and I was reading a sign that says you got it made. I was looking over like that, and the car in front of me slowed up, and I knocked the radiator out of the car with a 2-lap lead.
That was on the caution, too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Tell the rest of it.
I can remember that very well.
Every race that you ever win, especially in Ontario, that was one that...
What was that day like?
That particular day? Well, I was racing David Pearson at the time, because he was second, and Bud Moore crawled out at me, and he told me, he said, slow down, man, you're 18 seconds in the lead, you know, right near the end of the race. And I slowed down, and he really got mad. Then he said, you picked up a half a second. And I slowed down some more, and I got faster yet, you know. The whole thing was I was overdriving the car to build that 18-second lead, and then when I let the car work around the racetrack, I really went to flying in, and he wouldn't even talk to me after the race. That's the first time I'd ever won a race that the car owner was mad at me, when the race was over. The slower I tried to run, the faster the car went.
I don't think we've asked you what your most memorable win was.
Daytona, 1975. I started on a quarter-mile dirt track in an old car that the fellow said he paid $50 for it, and he gave it to me to use. And that's all I thought about that day was the old $50 car and the quarter-mile dirt to the half-mile dirt and all the trials and tribulations that you go through just to be a part of Winston Cup racing. And then to all of a sudden, bam, you in the winner's circle, the biggest race of the year, it overwhelms you. It really does. It's overwhelming.
It came out of that radiator and, just didn't turn. Went over to the end and just rolled it up, like Buddy said, rolled it up into a ball. I remember it very well, yeah.
Now, Buddy, you're in kind of a unique position because, unlike these other two, you grew up really with racing. Your father was very highly involved. Did that make any difference to your career?
My dad was and still is a heck of a driver. The biggest thing when, coming in behind my father, he was three-time national champion. And quite frankly, I wasn't a born gifted driver. I had to work at it. And I can remember the people telling me, if you plan to be what your father is, you better stay up at night and learn to drive too. And I guess that was one of the great moments of my life is when, my father walked up to me and he said, "You're one hell of a driver." That was, to me, a big thing.
Well, we'll be right back with more of our special Speed Week from the Lovejoy Plantation.
Do you feel like your money is missing your goals? Plays not designed for your team? The other team has all the power? Maybe it's time for some New Heritage strategy. When you have New Heritage on your team, the competition isn't even close. We're the bank that puts you first in the Merrimack Valley. Make your goal with New Heritage's winning strategy. The ball is in your hands, sports fans.
Pronto, the fastest growing name in auto parts today. Pronto, featuring quality auto parts at lower prices.
Speed. For some, it's life. Last year, the Motorcraft team won 4 world championships with the same Motorcraft parts you can buy for your car. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
When you need to know about auto parts, ask the pro at Pronto.
Season, New Mexico knocked off #1 Arizona. Now the Wildcats want revenge. Wednesday night, live on ESPN.
SpeedWeek is brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
We're back at the Lovejoy Plantation, just a few miles from Atlanta International Raceway, and we're talking with Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and Benny Parsons. We were talking about memorable crashes, and I'll never forget the time that you just qualified at Daytona at 200 miles an hour, and suddenly the car took off on you, and you were in the wall.
Yeah.
He was in the air before he got the wall.
That was quite a ride. The first lap, we were trying to run 200 miles an hour because nobody had qualified at 200 miles an hour, and the car we thought was capable of doing it, and the first lap we did run over 200 miles an hour, and the second lap would have been quicker than that, and I went into the third turn, and the car just got airborne. It just got awful quiet in that car, and it flew for quite a while before it finally did hit the wall and beat around a little bit, but thank goodness I came out of that one in pretty good shape, and I know I asked one of the men as soon as I got there, one of the rescue men, how fast I ran. It's a stupid thing on my part, I'm sure, to wonder how fast I ran after crashing a car like that, but I wanted to run 200, and we did. But
at Talladega, when you looped it there, Buddy, and Cale and I got in the wreck,
yeah,
and Marcus came down and ran into Cale.
Yeah.
What happened? We all spun, and Cale and I spun together for about 600-700 yards, and we got out of the car.
Felt like 6 or 7 miles.
At least 6 or 7 miles. And we got out of the car, because the wreck was over. We, as Cale says, we was the wreck.
Yeah.
So we got out of the car and was starting to examine the damage to our cars to see if we were going to be able to continue or what have you. The wreck was still going on, and Dave Marcus was sitting there. A car comes sliding in, hits Marcus, and knocks him into Cale. His bumper hits Cale's knees and pins him up against his car.
The tire. Just
The
happened
tire.
to got the tire. If it hadn't, it'd cut my legs off.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because the tire, they gave just enough.
We'll be back with more as we are broadcasting tonight from the Lovejoy Plantation, a special edition of Speed Week with Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and Benny Parsons.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality.
We engineer quality into every drop of Quaker State motor oil.
Only Quaker State has QSX, an advanced formula proven to run clean for unbeatable protection from wear and tear.
Before our oil's good enough for your car, we prove that it works in our car.
Quaker State quality. We don't just talk about it, we live by it.
Quaker State, the big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
You can ride with the wind when you're one with the road. You can feel every move. You're in control. It's the new spirit. Gotta be the spirit of Dodge. It's the new spirit. The new spirit of Dodge. The new spirit of Dodge.
Imagine doing this to your car. It's unthinkable. Yet some car waxes and polishes contain abrasives that can scratch your car. Introducing new Armor All Car Wax with no harsh abrasives, with a polishing ingredient so fine it won't scratch your car. Armor All Car Wax. It shines and protects, but it won't scratch.
ESPN is your ticket to the NFL when the Minnesota Vikings and Dallas Cowboys go head-to-head. The Vikings' Anthony Carter lights the fuse on a team just waiting to explode. Deep in the heart of Texas, Herschel Walker bulldozes a clear path for the Cowboys. The Minnesota Vikings and Dallas Cowboys battle head-to-head on NFL Sunday Night Football at 8 Eastern, live on ESPN.
Back with Speed Week at the Lovejoy Plantation. Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and Benny Parsons are with us. What do you think of? I mean, do you see the guys that are coming along now establishing themselves in the sport just as much as you guys have been the last 20 or 25 years?
Yeah. You know, the thing is, back in the 60s, NASCAR racing had a big deal. Ned Jarrett retired. Fred Lorenzen retired. Junior Johnson retired. Lee Petty. And not only that, Joe Weatherly, Billy Wade, Jimmy Perdue, Fireball Roberts were killed. And all this happened in, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, same period of time.
So, all of a sudden, boom, 7 or 8 of the top names in NASCAR racing is gone. And I'm sure at the time everyone said, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to NASCAR racing? Hey, it was fine. Cale Yarborough came along. Buddy Baker came along. Donnie Allison, Bobby Allison. There's people to step in, we're people to step into their shoes, and there's going to be people to walk in our shoes when we leave.
I always said, I took somebody's place, and one day somebody will take mine. Well, that day's here.
We're going to be back at Lovejoy Plantation in just a moment to wrap this thing up, but now let's go back to our Speed Week studios. Larry Newber has the latest from the world of motorsports.
Bob, unfortunately, some of that news is sad. Alex Morales, seen here with longtime team manager Johnny Caples, whose sprint cars won more CRA features than anyone and who had entered Indianapolis since 1975, died in Los Angeles after a long illness. Alex's drivers included Bill Vukovich Jr., Al Hobart, Johnny Rutherford, and his highest 500 finisher, Pancho Carter, who was third in '82. His team, run by Caples, will continue. In other news, Northern California's Chuck Gurney won Ascot Park's Turkey Night Midget Race for the first time. In black, he caught USAC champion Rich Vogler with 2 laps to go, as Pontiac engines captured 4 of the top 6 positions. While running second, Colorado's Dave Strickland flipped wildly without injury. In last weekend's biggest race, the Tampa World Challenge, pitting IMSA's GTP cars against Europe's Group C, Jeff Brabham in his Nissan won. Pete Halsmer, who finished fourth, was disqualified for an oversized turbocharger. And a reminder, beginning next week, SpeedWeek moves to its winter time slot, Fridays at 7:30 p.m. until spring. And now back to Bob at the Lovejoy Plantation.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our special Speed Week featuring Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and Benny Parsons, and certainly we wish them the best in their retirement or whatever they're going to do. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Speed Week.
Week has been brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. And by Dodge Cars and Trucks. On the street or off the road, it's the new spirit of Dodge.
You're watching the 24-hour Total Sports Network, ESPN. This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Listen to the heartbeat of America.
Now there's a powerful new reason to follow your heart. The new 4.3-liter V6, available in S10 Blazer. 28% more power than before, and 50% more torque. The new 4.3-liter V6, the biggest engine ever offered in Blazer's class.
The heartbeat of America.
Chevy S10 Blazer.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Cars aren't cheap, never have been. That's why I never take shortcuts with cheap oil and air filters. Give me AC filters every time. AC filters match the original specs on my cars like a nut on a bolt.
Precision AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
Keep your car running the way it was made to run.
Now get up to $780 back on AC filters and plugs. See your retailer for details.
This is the leading edge of racing technology. The perfection of the new Pennzoil Z7 Special, powered by the Penske Chevrolet engine. And from day one, it has run on the world-class protection of Pennzoil motor oil. There is no other engine in the world like it, and no other oil in the world can protect it like Pennzoil. Pennzoil, world-class protection that exceeds U.S. warranty requirements of every car maker in the world. Now save $3 a case or 20 cents a quart. See mail-in rebate coupon on the back of every bottle.
You gotta be tough to keep 45 bears in line. But even us tough guys like a little extra comfort underneath. And that's why I switched from ordinary underwear to Hanes. I like the soft touch of Hanes pure cotton t-shirts and the smooth fit of Hanes comfort weave waistbands. Now I'm as nice to be around as a teddy bear. Right, guys? I said, right, guys? Right, Coach.
It's not just underwear. It's Hanes.
Okay, listen up. Oakley here's filling in for ball tonight.
For 3 years, Bill Oakley took orders. But tonight, he's got to stand up and take charge. Here's to you, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood-aged Budweiser. For all the guys who know it's not what you say, but what you do.
Guess who has more of the year's top films, Showtime or HBO? Well, Showtime has Fatal Attraction. HBO doesn't. Showtime has The Untouchables. HBO doesn't. Showtime has Beverly Hills Cop 2. Throw Mama from the Train. RoboCop. HBO doesn't. And only Showtime has exclusive rights to 4 of the year's top 5 hits. Showtime exclusives. Here you see them, there you don't.
You know, thrifty car rentals, thrifty price for everyone.
Well, Henry, this is a good deal. Sign it.
It's an offer you can't refuse.
Sign it.
Why don't you get a larger car to entertain friends? Now I'll sign it.
Enjoy luxury and savings. The all-new Chrysler New Yorker, just $34.95 a day at Thrifty. No advance reservation required.
Go ahead, make my reservation. It's simple. Call 1-800-for-cars.
For years, you've seen some commercials where one battery company's toys outlast the other toys. So you may have assumed their battery outlasts even Energizer batteries. Fact is, Energizer was never invited to their playoffs. And today's Energizer won't be invited either. Why? Because no battery lasts longer than Energizer. So now you know. A word to the wise. Energize.
Nothing's more exciting than moving into a new home. But when you add up all the incidental expenses, moving can put a squeeze on a family budget. So now United Van Lines and Citibank have teamed up to bring you Ready Credit, a convenient plan that allows you to finance the cost of your move and have additional funds for other needs. Ready Credit, another exclusive service from United, America's #1 family mover. Ask your United agent for details.
Some guys, they have it all. Some guys are just too big. Some guys, they have them all. Some guys get left out in the rain.
Don't wait for something good to happen. Make it happen with the clean, masculine scent of English Leather Cologne.
Some guys have what others want. Some guys have it all.
English Leather. Some guys have it all.
Sun's are rising, biscuits are baking, birds are singing. You're just waking to the good time, great taste, breakfast and a morning play.
Good morning. Welcome to McDonald's.
The good time, great taste of McDonald's.
What's the hottest gift for men this year? We went to the Excerpts to find out.
The minute I saw it, it was like, this is perfect for Steve. I thought it was funny, so I know my husband will.
My brother's gonna freak when he sees I got it for him.
My kid will love it. I even got a kick out of it.
These shoppers have already discovered the hottest gift for men this Christmas. It's a hilarious video cassette presented by Sports Illustrated. The very best of the football follies. 44 fun-filled minutes of some of the all-time craziest football bloopers ever. It's sure to make any sports fan happy this Christmas. These critics agree.
He can watch that kind of stuff over and over again. The bloopers, the fumbles, he really likes it.
It's just bodies colliding all over the place. Perfect for him.
He'll invite the guys over, and they'll watch it about 100 times. Where'd I buy it? I got him a subscription to Sports Illustrated, and it comes with it. Free.
That's right. You get the very best of the football follies free with your paid gift subscription to Sports Illustrated.
Anything to get me out of shopping for Christmas.
Call their toll-free Christmas hotline now and get in on the hottest gift around. The free video and a full year of SI at a low Christmas sale price. Only 99 cents per issue. That's over 55% off the cover price.
They even have it on sale before Christmas.
He'll enjoy 55 big issues, including the year in sports, the baseball preview, the basketball preview, the football spectacular.
That's all he thinks about, football.
The Sportsman of the Year, and the one and only 25th anniversary swimsuit issue.
I'll keep that.
Personally, I would love Sports Illustrated this Christmas, and I hope my girlfriend Kelly is watching. Thank you. Boyfriends, husbands, fathers, brothers is perfect for any man. There's even a card for under the tree. A full year of Sports Illustrated for only 99 cents per issue. You won't be billed till next year. The first issue even comes gift wrapped. Save over 55% and get the videotape free. Call 1-800-541-8300.
No sizes, no hassles in the store. All our Christmas shopping should be that easy. You won't see this, Philly. Oh, honey, Merry Christmas.
Who do you call to conquer the cold?
Call me Reem.
Reem is
marching through the neighborhoods of America.
Call me Rheem.
To conquer the cold on the home front, your Rheem dealer's 90-plus gas furnace is more than 90% energy efficient to reduce utility bills and keep you in comfort year after year. Call him fast, call him reliable, but call him.
Call me Rheem.
Opportunity can't knock unless it's on your doorstep. Subscribe to the Wall Street Journal.
Call 800-228-1900 for this great journal subscription offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-228-1900 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Guess who has the best movies, Showtime or HBO? Well, Showtime has Fatal Attraction and Throw Mama from the Train. HBO doesn't. Showtime exclusives. Here you see them, there you don't.
For great personal service and low everyday prices, check the lineup at your neighborhood True Value hardware store, where the November True Value of the month is their Master Electrician 20-foot cord reel and trouble light. Now you can bring the light right to your work. You can plug in a power tube, and you're protected by a 7-amp circuit breaker. In November, get the Master Electrician 20-foot trouble light for just $12.66, where you see the banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Me? Stain wood? That's a job for professionals. Would you try a stain made for amateurs? Well, Czar Wood Stain. Okay. Other stains are made for professionals, but Czar Wipe-On Stain makes it easy for first-timers to get beautiful results. And Czar's controlled penetration gives you plenty of time to wipe off excess and avoid streaks and lap marks.
It looks great. My wife is gonna love this.
And for lasting protection, use Czar Clear Finishes. For a free brochure in the dealer nearest you, write us today.
Some guys, they have it all. Some guys are just too vain. Some guys, they have a fall. Some guys get left out in the rain.
Don't wait for something good to happen. Make it happen with the clean, masculine scent of English leather cologne.
Some guys have what others want. Some guys have it all.
English leather. Some guys have it all.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.